What's up, guys? How's it going? We are doing another unboxing showcase review. We actually have a brand new Marvel Legends 2-pack. We finally got the Marvel Legends King in Black Knull and Venom. I actually did pre-order this. Surprisingly, the pre-order still was pending, considering I did pre-order at Target. Target was the cheapest place to find them at. But Amazon surprisingly had them in stock when it was released, so I was able to just pick one up at Amazon. Amazon had a great deal considering it was around the same price as Target, plus I had, like, you know, some gift cards with Amazon, so of course I paid a little bit less price, but we did get it. I'm actually happy that I was able to get it because I was looking forward to this 2-pack for a while now. To have a Knull figure in the collection is really cool. If you haven't read any of Donny Cates's Venom King in Black run, my goodness, what a crazy character Knull is. And then we have the Venom character, which is cool because it's the Venom from the MCU, the Fox movie, which I never bought. I never bought that figure because it was technically, it didn't have a Build-A-Figure piece when you bought the wave, so I didn't bother with it. Plus, at the time, I wasn't really collecting any more MCU figures, so I just left it behind. But now I have it, considering they made this Venom into more of a comic Venom with the spider symbol on the chest. So still happy to have it. You can see here that we have quite the stuff that's going to come with it, considering the stuff that I really mean is the wings, because the wings are really a standout for this 2-pack outside of the Knull character. But I'm just happy. Let's take a look at this. If you haven't seen my reviews before, you know, we go through this entire unboxing, show you what's all inside and what it looks like when you take it out of the box. So let's go ahead, take a look. As you can see from the front and the back of the box. Now, this is windowless packaging. This is my second windowless packaging. So we're on that road to windowless packaging. As you can see from the back of the box, you will get Knull, an extra head. It looks like you get the sword as well. Venom, you get some extra hands, which is good, an extra head, and of course the wings. On the side, we do get some artwork, which is very nice to have some artwork here. Hey, there my guy fell down. And then on the front is really just the, if I'm not mistaken, these are the digital renders, so not a big deal. This is part of the 60th anniversary line for Spider-Man figures, and there's the bottom of the box as well. I already did make the incision cut here, so let's go ahead, open this up, take a look and see what's inside here. All right, so we got our small piece of paper, our notes. We have the sword already wrapped up, and from on the inside, here we go. Let's see what we're gonna get out of this whole thing. So everything, of course, is encased in like a cardboard as well as this like tissue paper. And let's see, there we go. All right, nothing else inside the box. Look at that. We have, oh, these are the wings. So we got our wings here, and that's Knull, that's Venom. We have the extra accessory. This feels like the extra head. This is the extra head and the hands. And there we go. Let's take a look. Oh, well, okay, there's that extra piece right there. All right, let's unwrap this, see what we got going. All right, guys, there we have it. We have them all unboxed, unwrapped, everything ready to go. My goodness, that was quite the ordeal. I was trying to really mess around with trying to get them to stand properly. So yes, this is definitely a much bigger figure from what I recall. It's been a while since I was hunting for that figure anyway, and then of course I never saw it again. But as you can see, we do have Knull, Venom. We have the accessories, we have the wings, and the wings are quite large too. So they came in the tissue paper, and of course you have to plug them in right here, and this is where it's articulated as well. So this is quite the wingspan, or we could just spread it out like just like that, and you can see that right there. So, well, I already snapped them in. It's quite all right. And then here's the peg going on right there. We do have the other set too, same idea. it is just snap into place, and then you can, there you go. So we have 2 wings right there. Quite quite the wingspan, almost like NECA Gargoyles type wingspan, but at least these are a little bit have some articulation to it. Venom, of course, has these extra pair of fisted hands, which is always nice to have extra hands. Really, really cool. And of course, we got the white over the backhand, which is also really nice to have, including his extra head sculpt. Extra head sculpt, it's not so bad. It looks really good. The paint, there's some bleed over here, but that's not that big of a concern. There is like this yellow lining on the top and the bottom, probably like, I guess, where you can say where his gums would go, but it's not too bad. I don't really understand what the point was. And look, I'm going over the paint because this is windowless packaging. We're still checking to see, you know, if we're really going to have a lot of quality control issues, and there have been quite a few. I mean, I've seen some images where this wasn't even painted red at all, so it is a possibility. The other accessories, of course, we do have a extra null head. It's all like this white. There's not even any type of wash to distinguish more. It seems like they're both the same color, the face and the hair. I feel like the face should be a little bit darker, but that's my opinion. At least the eyes are very well done for where it's painted. Everything else, it's not bad. This is more of his stoic face, so that's pretty cool. And of course, we have the sword. Sword looks really good. At least there's some really good red that's been placed all throughout. And of course, they painted the handle brown. So really cool. Not too bad. That's well done. Now, kind of going over the figures. So let's go over the figures, take a look at their sculpt and paint, make sure everything looks good. All right, let's start off with Venom. So like I said before, I never had the Venom movie figure. I knew of it, of course. I'm fully aware of it. I've watched some reviews on it, but I just was like, I didn't need the figure, considering it never had a Build-A-Figure feast. But now, here we are. I do have it now because this is basically the same figure, just as a repaint with the Venom logo, the spider logo on the front, which is actually really cool because I've never actually had the pleasure to check out that body, even though everyone said it was a great Venom body. You can see all the details, like the veins and everything that's all throughout, which I love in regards to the sculpt of it. So you can see that. And then they did a great job with the paint on the lines here for that spider. It looks great. And even with the articulation, there you go, you still see some more of that as well. And we do have it on the back, which everything looks great on the back, around the sides. They did some very good lines right here, especially with all that musculature going around. So it's not bad. They did a good job. And then back there. So paint wise, still good. Everything's still very nice because the rest of it is just all black. Even on the hands with the paint, there are some, you know, missing white in there. That's possibly just because, you know, it was like stamped or tampoed on there. Same idea right there. So everything looks good. Even the head. We'll take a look at the head a little bit. The white is actually very well done around the eyes. I don't see really any issue there. That's not bad at all. And then we have his mouth. We got the gum, the pink in the gums going on. All good. Even with the teeth, the white. So there's still a distinguished line that you can see that they did and made sure that it was done very well. So I'm happy with it. Tongue, very flexible. Rubber right there. You can see there's a lot of sculpt in it. I can't tell if those are really just veins or that they're supposed to be saliva of some kind, but still, at least there's texture to it. Not bad. I like it very much. Very, very nice. So now, going over Knull. Venom, I know this. Here's the thing. I'm having a little trouble already because these feet are, there's an arch to it. So I know it's flat here and around the heel, but I am having the most difficult trouble standing him up. And I don't know if that was the same before. It's just he doesn't want to stand the way I want him to stand. So let me get him to stand and then I'll mess around with Knull. Okay, Knull, my goodness. Knull is quite the tall figure. This is actually very well done. I like this sculpt a lot. I was expecting it to be maybe black, more so than this gray, this like stone gray color, dark stone gray color. I mean, this is, the wraps here are gray, but this is just like a shade darker. I thought this would have been all black, but I guess I was wrong. Maybe I have to look at my comics again just to see and verify the actual color of it. But it's still a very nice sculpt. Really cool. I mean, you can think of it basically like a Build-A-Figure considering the size of it. There is a lot of, sculpted detail around the armor. Of course, within this skirt piece right here, it's all tattered, weathered looking. But it's all one color. That's the only drawback to it. I mean, everything is just basically one color outside of these wraps that have a lighter tone of gray. But the sculpt is still well done. I mean, for a Knull figure, that's what it is. Oh, this belt piece is a separate piece. Okay. Yeah, it's a separate piece. Okay, so the paint, of all things, at least there's some good paint going on with the red. Not bad at all. So that's actually nice. Even in his face is also painted very nicely, where the eyes aren't misaligned in any way. And then of course we got the white teeth happening there. This we normally see. There's always a seam line that's going on with it's usually in female hair too. But there is a seam line that's there. That's very apparent. You can't really miss it considering it's in the face view of where you're looking at. And then hand-wise, there is some distinction between the paint. So there you go, where your fingers are. And in the legs, see, this is why I think there should be some distinguishing colors, even though I know it's mostly similar. But this boot and knee pad the color is very similar to the thighs. So it's okay. I mean, I understand it based on, comic accuracy, when whoever colored it or drew it. I feel as if it needed to be darker. All right, guys, let's see if we can go through articulation real quick, just because, this figure has been done before. So mostly everything is pretty much the same. But when it comes to head movement, we can do side to side, can look up pretty much that high, can look down a little bit just because of the mouth. That's really all you're hindering by. We have our shoulders, which can go pretty much that far. We have a bicep swivel. We do have double jointed elbows. Now this is pins because this is an older figure, so of course we're going to have those pins in there. Including on the wrist joint, we do have the horizontal hinge right there on all of them actually, so even on the fisted ones here. So we do have that. We have a diaphragm cut, which is great. Love diaphragm cuts. And we also have the ab crunch right there, as you can see. So as he can go far that much, and he can really bend down because of that ab crunch right there. In the hips, we can go about that far. We do have an upper thigh cut, which is awesome. And we do have the double jointed knees. And we do have the ankle pivot as well. Now, in terms of the ankle, this is the weird thing. Because I never had this figure before, so I never experienced it. We do go back pretty much that far, which is actually really nice. But when it comes to going forward, it can go that much. I think I had a lot of trouble with this one. It really wouldn't go as high as the other foot. So it does work out. He's got these weird looking toes, which is fine, but it was very difficult to stand up because it's not flat. This was well, like a big thing for me when I couldn't stand him up properly. But yeah, there you go. That is articulation for Venom. And articulation with Knull, we do have very limited because of the hair sculpt, so he's not going to look as high as we want. He can look down pretty nicely. The difference now is that he does have a neck hinge, so this neck helps maneuver around quite a bit, which is actually very, very nice. I do like that. So we do have a lot of neck movement that can go along with the head. I mean, the head itself already, because it's already on a dumbbell joint, helps out a lot with that movement. So I'm actually very happy with that. The arms, we do have these shoulder pads that are there. So that's actually cool because it at least can go up to a T-pose and the shoulder pads won't really get in the way. We do have a double jointed elbows and a bicep swivel, and considering this is a new sculpt, once again we do have pinless joints, which is very, very nice. We have horizontal, I think. Oh no, it's hard to tell because of the straps. So this hand, which is the sword holding hand, does have the vertical hinge, so that's good to have. And of course on this hand we have the the horizontal hinge. So still good. We only have 1/7 hand, so it's not a big deal. We wish we could have more, but that's all we got going on. We do have an ab crunch, and you can lift up this armor piece and you can see there's the ab crunch. I was hoping for, you know, a diaphragm, because you could kind of hide it underneath the armor, but unfortunately there's not one. So we do have an ab crunch. Can go back really far. Can he go forward? Maybe if we kind of lift up the armor piece and maneuver that just like so you can move forward that much. And I think there is a a waist swivel. So yep, there is a waist swivel right here. It's really hidden underneath this brown belt. You can kind of see right there as I'm slowly pulling it apart. Now this skirt's going to get in the way in regards to some articulation. So there is how far he can spread his legs out. He does have an upper thigh cut right there, and he does have double jointed knees, which moves very fluidly, so that's nice to see. And it is pinless too as well. There is no boot cut, so luckily there is a thigh cut. And then we do have your ankle pivot like so. He can go back that far and forward that much. So not a lot going forward, but it's still there. At least we get some movement in there. But there you have articulation on Knull. So with the accessories, here is the Necro sword. Holds into his right hand, which is the only sword holding hand that he has, of course. So there you have that, which is actually, it does work out very nicely. It's held on pretty well as too. So it's got a good grip on there. And of course I put on the additional head sculpt, the more stoic head sculpt, and all the same because the hair is practically the same. Oh no, it's a little different. There is some differences in the hair. So there is still the same limited movement, but at least we do have options for the head sculpt. And here we have Venom. I put the alternate head sculpt on. I love this head sculpt. That looks awesome. This is really, really nice for this head sculpt. So luckily it is very well painted. But we're also going to check out his wings because we do have the ports for the wings and try them out. It seems pretty self-explanatory considering there is the peg and there's the peg hole, and it should just probably pop or snap into place. No. Oh wow, it's got a really good pushed in there. Hopefully I don't do anything wrong. Okay, sorry. I had to take him off camera. That was extremely, extremely hard to port in the back. You practically should heat him up. I did place him in there for the time being. It is kind of weird to stand up, but you can get a good balance on it because he is standing up on his own. As if I move Knull out of the way. There you go. This wingspan is huge. This is actually a really cool looking wingspan he's got going on, and luckily it articulates too. So this actually is very, very nice. There we go. If I kind of move back a little bit there with the camera. but it works out great. It looks great. So luckily the articulation is there, and I'm liking it. I'm really like, oh geez, I'm really liking it a lot. So having wings for this to kind of, you know, show off more from the comic book is extremely well done. All right, so for some size comparisons, as you can see, Knull is just slightly taller than Venom. And let's just put in another deluxe figure, or you can say build a figure. There is Monster Venom, and they are practically the same size. Well, at least both Venoms are practically the same size. And for a female figure, we have the new Silk body. We do see the height comparison completely, really up to his shoulder. So there's your female figure next to these larger figures. And here we have a Carnage figure right there. So much smaller, as you can see, only up to the bicep of Venom. And here we also have Black Costume Spider-Man, as you can also see, much smaller. Alright guys, there you have it. We have Knull and Venom. This is an amazing 2-pack. Is it worth it? It may be. It depends if you have the existing Venom figure. But the Knull is a much needed addition for my Spider-Man collection. I think it's awesome that we actually have a Knull figure, so this is incredible. The wings are incredible for the Venom figure as well, so I really like what they've done here. Is it worth it? I don't know. It's really up to you. It all depends on how much of a Marvel Legends collector you are, or how much of a Venom or Spider-Man collector you are. I'm a big fan of him, so I was planning on buying it to begin with, so I did put a pre-order on this. I'd never had this Venom figure from the movie line, and of course getting Knull, I'm all for it. I welcome these new additions to my collection. The price point, unfortunately, is much too high, in my opinion, because to be honest, as much as you can think of these as deluxe figures, this Venom is not, because this Venom did sell at the basic, you know, standard Marvel Legend price of $19.99 when it was back then. But then this Knull, you can look at it as a deluxe figure just because of how much larger it is. But unfortunately, I just don't feel like the price point of, what was it, like $78 is not worth that price. It's way too high. If this was around 50 bucks, I can definitely understand this was a much better buy for that price. But that is my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I still enjoy the figures of these. So what do you guys think of? I really would love to hear what you think about them. But here you go. Here's Knull and Venom. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit the like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel about these two. I would greatly appreciate it. But thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you soon, and I hope to see you on the next hunt.